wedding party, he could see laid out before him all this and more. The hour had come for him to start this 3-year ministry, ending in his own agonizing death. Wow. So Jesus' response was to choose to begin the process of securing our salvation and changing the Jewish religious establishment by going into Christianity. So he makes water into wine. You know something I don't understand, Jesus. It's not unusual for me not to understand Jesus, I'm right there. But I don't understand Jesus. If it was my first miracle, I would try to do something a little bit more significant. You know, something spectacular. You know what I'm saying? I would have raised Lazarus from the dead for my first miracle. But not Jesus. You know, if I was doing a miracle, the dad tried to pay off the natural debt or cure AIDS or cancer. But no, Jesus responds to this request from his mother, knowing he would end up on the old rugged cross. Now nearby stood 6 water jars, the jars that they used for ceremonial washing, each holding from 20 to 30 gallons. This makes me think how amazing it is that Jesus would work a miracle that was a luxury for us. He didn't work a miracle when he was in the desert with Satan when he was hungry. But he would work a miracle of making more wine for us. Obviously, Jesus wants the best for us. And Jesus said to the servant, fill the jars with water. Said they filled them to the top. Then he told them, now draw some out and take it to the master of the banquet. Jesus performed some miracle, but the servants did the work. Did you notice? They filled the jars. They drew out the wine. They delivered it to the wedding coordinator. The work was human, but the result was divine. The miracle required human cooperation. The point is, when you expect a miracle, you must be willing to do whatever Jesus tells you to do. The servant drew out water, but they did as Jesus asked. They took it to the master, and somewhere along the line, the water turned into wine. Well, so what? What does this have to do with us today? Well, Jesus fills these jars. You see, this ceremonial water is not enough. This water has to be transformed into something else. So symbolically, he's giving the message that I'm changing the Jewish religion into something else. I'm changing it into Christianity. And in other words, this is what Jesus does to us. He takes our half-empty lives, fills them up, and changes for something better. Wow. This is the first of Jesus' miracle. If we don't let Jesus in our lives are only a fraction of what they could be. We need to let him fill us and change us, not just fill us once. But even if you've been a Christian 20 years, you need a refill. If we expect miracles in our life, all we have to do is follow the instructions Mary gave. Do whatever he tells you. You see, the water is a symbol of Jesus himself and his word. Remember what Jesus said to the woman at the well. He said he can give her living water, but not only just water. Jesus created the vine, which takes water from the grounds and makes it into grapes. So do you see in this miracle, Jesus is the water and the vine. Here Jesus himself does the work of the vine. The wine was out of this world. It was pure wine. The wine was a symbol of Jesus' shed blood. Notice that this precious blood of God's Son must be poured out before it can be saved. This first day of Jesus' miracle points to the last day when he would die, and his blood would be spilled out for every sinner. Jesus' ministry begins as it ends. It starts with the drinking of the cup at a meal. It ends with the Lord's Supper that's the way God works. Mature